All right. We have Best Buy reporting tomorrow morning. Square worked with the straddle we took. What you could do tomorrow to take advantage of that, how to clear your mind. Of course, we're going to share with you our game plan and Forex, and of course, our full stock analysis. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mark Melnick, and I'll be taking you through the Newsbeat Show today. A lot of interesting things in the market. It's actually starting to prop up. It just seems like we always get a gap down, and as you could see, fairly titled, Finally a Down Day Part 2. Here's the thing. It should have been Part 4, because the thing is kind of fake. I mean, every day we walk into a gap down, we gap up. Like even right now, after hours, the triple Qs managed to gap up, but we did end up lower. So what happened? We closed at 168.29 yesterday, only to open up almost $1 higher at 169.25, and then we started flushing down in the middle of the day. So we've been getting this weird action in this tightening wedge over here. I think that pretty much lowers conviction for the most part, but the fact that we're moving down starts to really raise our conviction. Like if you were in the Newsbeat room today, there's really only one trade I did, and we called an extremely accurate bottom in Mercado Libre. I show you this chart over here, and what do you see? You see this weird looking huge doji, right? And you're like, where was the opportunity in that? Well, the opportunity in Mercado Libre was if you actually called along underneath $382 today. It blipped 380.64. 5 minutes later, shot up to 388, and literally 20 minutes after that, shot up to 396. Then it eventually went a little higher and then a little lower. And the options we bought literally doubled in value. I mean, literally the $400 March monthly calls. The low print of the day of $5.80 was me and us in this room, and a lot of us made a little bit of money. It's not like I'm actually trying to hit a home run off any of these ideas, but they're just simple ways to make money on a consistent intraday basis, and that's more of where I tagged in the market today. I've been basically telling you guys as well, take your foot off the gas pedal. Yesterday, I was giving you guys something, and I'm actually going to jump to number 2 here before I give you my Best Buy pre-release thoughts. I'm going to talk about the square play and how it worked, and a lot of you guys love when I do this because, heck, it works almost every time. Every time I have given you guys one of these straddle or strangle plays on the Newsbeat, it ended up working. We said take any option 50 cents apart and pay $2 or less. If you did that, you made money today. One person in the room sold the calls and then rode the puts on the way down and made 150% of their money. I mean, that was a little more complex. I think you could have easily made 50% of your money, which is nothing to scoff at all. It worked right away, and it was a very solid strategy. And if you traded it, you made money on it. So congratulations and great job to everybody who took advantage of the square. Again, it might look a little weird here with this big tail, but let me show you what happened. So here's the opening right over here, this green candle. Ignore all the lines I have. It basically was stuck within this range here, the range in which we called for it to open at, and then you just absolutely exploded on this 5-minute bar and actually shot up to the upside. Very easy trade to capitalize on. So congratulations to those who've taken it. And even the silly garbage name that we gave of BPMX on the game plan, like personally I didn't trade it, but a lot of people A lot of people do trade this. This thing had a move to 32 cents today. Doesn't sound like a lot when a stock goes from 22 to 32 cents, but you know, a 50% move like that off yesterday's close, again, is nothing to scoff at. And I really tried to give these game plans for you guys listening in on the Newsbeat show, especially you guys who are not members of the room. I'm doing this sort of for the people who don't have large account size, the people who I could come to you and say, you know, Amazon looks strong here, and you're going to be like, okay, Mark, well, I can't really do much with that idea because I don't have a lot of buying power, but a little 20-cent name going into the 30s, whether you were able to capitalize on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cents, you know, and something like this for a nice percentage move with low risk. A lot of people could create alpha in this way. So that's why, if you wanted to know why I've generally been giving lower price names on the game plan, I'm trying to really look out for the traders who don't have large accounts or are working primary jobs elsewhere and are logging in trying to make, you know, trying to garner some information, stay warmed up in the market. You know, they obviously, if you're one of those people with a primary job listening to the show, you love the market. You want to be involved. You probably can't wait to the day until you're a full-time trader again. So hopefully I'm building a little bit of a step ladder towards that direction of your hopes and dreams. So that is why I give things like that, by the way. And again, not the greatest play in the world, but not bad, right? I mean, they're doable. The ideas are doable. And you take very low risk, which is always the most important thing. Now I want to talk about Best Buy. Best Buy is one of those companies that actually shocked me. I'm going to zoom out and show you a weekly of Best Buy and basically how it shot up. Best Buy is reporting earnings tomorrow morning. I don't understand this company. So basically, I'm the person who came out in the past couple years and said all commercial places which take out huge warehouses, with the exception of supermarkets, anyone who's not primarily selling you food or produce, places that own big warehouses that you walk in and there's an enormous amount of real estate space, like Bed Bath & Beyond, like Best Buy, like some of the PetSmarts, you know what I'm talking about. They basically take out a huge warehouse, Macy's, and I came out and I was bashing all these names. And the majority of my ideas worked. It was a solid call. I mean, I was coming after you guys in 2016 and 2017 saying, you know, Macy's is garbage. Macy's is garbage. It worked. I came out to you guys. I said Bed Bath & Beyond is garbage. Bed Bath & Beyond is absolute garbage. And I've been saying that since 2016. And you could just see the stock has gotten hammered. But the truth is, I also said it about Best Buy since 2016. And this thing has just magically climbed up. This is what I like to call cow fecal matter phenomena. A cow fecal mattered phenomena. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, it's almost magical how this one was able to hold up. Now, it means one of two things. I said that all these huge online retailers need to sell all their stuff online. I do not believe in this company. They beat on earnings last time. It's been one of the strongest ones. For every 20, 30 of these retailers that I correctly predicted, this is the one I predicted incorrectly. There you go. I don't understand how a company like this can battle it out with Amazon. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And I've had some pretty phenomenal analysis on a lot of these things. Like, we correctly predicted Amazon buying Whole Foods months before they did it. I still think Sprouts Farmers Market is going to be taken out. I still think Walmart should take out Sprouts Farmers Market. It makes sense. I don't know what Best Buy needs to do. Well, actually, I do. In my opinion, the healthiest thing for Best Buy would to be to close down 90% of their locations, maybe 80% of their locations, and just focus on an online juggernaut push. That's what Best Buy needs to do. Do you guys remember Circuit City? You guys remember Circuit City? It was like Best Buy, right? Except it was red all over instead of blue, right? That went out of business. I don't know how this company stays afloat. To me, it's magical. It's a phenomena, literally. Now, while every analyst out there is looking for Best Buy to beat, they might be right. I'll come out and admit that as great of a call I've had on the retail sector in the past, this one was my worst one. I'll fairly come out and say it. And in all fairness, I came out and I said, I listed Macy's as one of my top stocks for 2018 after it got beaten up. But there is no reason why Best Buy should be trading at these multiples. I cannot look at Best Buy and justify it. So let's go over it just a little fundamentally now. What are we really talking about here? Well, we're talking about a company that has an $18 PE ratio. That's not bad, actually. They actually earn money. They have a $21 billion market cap. They actually are earning money. Compare that to my favorite retailer that I gave you guys in the beginning of the year, which was Macy's. And basically, Macy's opened up at $24.50. Now it's $29.50, so the thing is up 5 points or 20% at the moment. Since I called it, it got as high as 31. That was a good call on Macy's, right? Macy's has a $13 P ratio. Okay, Macy's is a little different than Best Buy, Mark. Best Buy sells electronics. Macy's, for the most part, sells clothing, and you basically walk by the perfume section of a Macy's and you try to not collapse on the floor and have a seizure from all the chemical imbalances and laboratory induced scents that flood your brain. I walk past that every time. And I'm sure there are people who walk by that part of Macy's and they walk by and they're like, "Oh, this smells great. Smell all that perfume." I mean, I walk by it and the first thing I think to myself, it's like, are you ladies? Because they usually have, female employees because they're, walking up to women and offering them, free scents or sprays, trying, salespeople. And I think to myself, are you ladies breathing in this toxic concoction of laboratory-induced carcinogens? Yeah, I said the word carcinogen. There's formaldehyde within them, almost every single one of those perfumes. Formaldehyde. That's right. The same stuff they use to preserve mummies. They put in those perfumes. And when you spray that perfume on yourself, your body goes into a toxic shock and your kidneys and liver just immediately go into some form of a shock where it's trying to say, where the heck did this come from? So, not to get off track here, but back to Best Buy. I cannot justify these multiples. I cannot. It makes no sense. I got a Best Buy gift card for my birthday. I was born in February, and I got a gift card for Best Buy for $100. You know what I'm thinking? I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I could use a Best Buy gift card. I'm a broadcaster. I could buy a new headset. I'm constantly talking. I'm constantly wearing it. I'm constantly putting it down. I have to. It's part of my job. But I thought to myself, what would I actually buy from a Best Buy? I would buy things from a Best Buy in which I could not get cheaper elsewhere. So, for example, a new iPad that comes out. If Apple releases a new iPad product and I wanted to buy it, there's no real discounts on that. I could see myself buying that from a Best Buy. A refrigerator? Never in a million years. A washing machine? Never in a million years. A video game? Maybe. Do I want to drive over? I mean, I live 3 minutes away from a Best Buy. Do I want to drive over a Best Buy, or do I want to go to Amazon.com and get it 2 days later? Rarely am I in an emergency to go to Best Buy. It's happened before where I needed a new headset to broadcast. I don't see this company doing well on earnings. I don't. I cannot envision it. I cannot imagine it. I cannot see it. I cannot predict it. I know this company has been making money. I think that is one of the most miraculous things that I have ever seen in my life. Not that they're making money, but that they're making this much money. I am doubting its sustainability. I'm not shorting the name. I'm not going long the name. I'm just saying that look for the earnings to disappoint the analyst tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. And if it does, I will be looking for an intraday short in Best Buy. There is no way that this company is the one. It's like from the Matrix. It's like, you are the one, Best Buy. It's like, all these retailers are getting destroyed, but here's this one, just this one glimmer that shines through the coals, that rises above the rest, and it's Best Buy? No, I don't think so. I don't know about you guys, but I walk inside my Best Buy here. Like, if I walked into a Best Buy today at 12 or 1 o'clock, which I didn't, but if I did, it would be me, maybe two other customers, and between the security guard and employees there might be 20 workers there, 25 workers at any given time. So there's like always, there's like 9% customer to employee ratio at any given time at my local Best Buy. I don't know. We'll see. I think this company is going to flop. So now we're going to talk about clearing your mind and doing the right thing. And I'm going to talk about a story of a guy I met when I used to take the train over to T3 when I was living in Brooklyn. I used to take the train into work, and there was always some homeless guy here who was begging for money on the side of the building. And for some reason, every day I would give him the rest of my change. I would get like, I wasn't eating too healthy at the time. I got much more intelligent after I met my wife. I was basically buying an egg and cheese sandwich with a coffee, and I would dump my change in this guy's cup, whatever it was. Usually it's like 70, 80 cents. I'd give it to him like every day. I'd be like, hey, how are you? I'd dump in the money and say, God bless you. And that was the end of it. And I was doing this for a number of months. It must have been 4, 5, 6 months. And one day I was literally at a restaurant, and I literally looked across and I saw this dude dressed very properly, jeans, shirt, clean, everything, with a very attractive woman. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, this is the guy in which I'm giving my money to every day. This is the guy who I was giving my change to. And it's kind of weird. It was kind of a weird feeling to see somebody in that sort of environment. It wasn't an upscale restaurant. I mean, it was one of those restaurants where you'd buy a $17 to $20 entree. I mean, it was decent. I mean, for Manhattan, it was not the most expensive, but it was like nice, a nice restaurant, you know. Come out, you have two people, you end up with like a $60 bill, like one of those $70 bill if you get no alcohol, one of those types of things. So I was watching there, and I was engulfed in the fact that I saw this person who appeared to be a homeless dude, you know, begging for money. So I wait for his date, or whoever, this girl that he's with, to actually walk away. And I came up to him and I was like, hey man, what's up? And he looked at me like he had no idea who I was. And I'm like we called him Shmoo. Like, I asked him his name. I mean, I gave him money every day. I asked him his name. He said his name was Shmoo. I don't know if that's like Shmuel or short for something or a nickname. So I'm like, Shmoo, it's me. What's up? It's Mark. How you doing, bro? He's like, I'm sorry, have we met? Like that, with a very raspy voice. Had that raspy voice. I'm sorry, have we met? And I'm like, Shmoo, it's me. You look good. You're clean shaven. Like this. Like, I saw you not even like 2 days ago. Now he's like clean shaven and everything. And I'm asking about him. And like I'm talking to him, and the dude has no idea who I am. Like I'm looking in his face. He's either putting on a good show. He's acting like he has no idea who I am. And this started to offend me because whatever. Like I saw this dude 5 days a week. I would drop him, maybe $4 a week in total. And I've been doing this for weeks upon months upon months. It's not a lot of money. I get it. But like I saw this dude and I'm like thinking to myself, like, if we start talking, the girl comes back, she's asking him, she calls him by a different name, asks him if everything's okay. I'm like, hey, everything's fine. I think this is just a friend of mine. I apologize or whatever. And like the dude basically says, sorry, I can't help you. And like basically leaves. I am sitting there and I am so offended. I am sitting there. I'm running curses through my mind. I'm like, this disrespectful, insert your favorite word here, just totally ignored me, was completely clean shaven. And I'm sitting here thinking like, this dude does it for a living. Like that's what I'm thinking, that he goes out and he asks for money and he does it for a living. So it was a Saturday. It was really like bothering me the entire week because here's a dude who I thought fell on some hard times. I never even asked him what was wrong. I never asked him if he was an alcoholic. I never asked him if he was a drug addict. I just gave him money and hoped for the best. A lot of times I would come and I would give him half my sandwich too. It's another thing I didn't mention. I definitely needed to lose a little weight as well at the time. So I come back on Monday, and who do I see? And his scraggly beard, again, after being clean shaven, all dressed up, asking for money. So I walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, Shmoo. He's like, hey, what's up, Mark? And I'm like, hey, like, I saw you at, this restaurant here, this, and you looked at me like you didn't know who I was. And what he told me was breathtaking. He basically says he has a twin brother. He was married to, and we were talking like a while, he was married to a girl, and what happened was his wife, the woman he was married to, left him for his twin brother. Literally left him for his twin brother. And he showed me a picture of his ex-wife at the time. And it was the same woman I saw inside the restaurant. So I knew like this was accurate. His wife at the time, now ex-wife, left him for his twin brother because his twin brother got a really good job. And this is from what he's telling me. And what happened was after his wife left him for his twin brother, that he basically stopped talking to her, stopped talking to him, and started doing drugs and alcohol after that point. And it was one of those stories in which I was like, hey man, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And I saw I told him the story that I saw his brother and I saw his wife, and it was kind of weird. And after we had that discussion, I never saw him there. He was right near the State Street office at T3, and I never saw him again. Basically, that was it, and I haven't seen him since. And I guess the moral of this story is Obviously, don't judge a book by its cover. But sometimes you feel so adamantly about something, and sometimes you get offended at something, but the truth remains is there might be more than meets the eye. And there might be a deeper situation involved in which you cannot understand. There might be something going on in which you didn't have the details for, in which, if you did have those details, you would have been able to understand the situation a lot differently. So, I remember that day, like, I I threw like $20 in his thing, in his cup, and then that was it. I never saw him again for the rest of my life. So when it comes to trading, a lot of times you see the market sometimes what appears to randomly move up and down. And you can't make sense of it, or you think you can make sense of it, but you really can't. Because the truth will always remain in the market is when we're a trader, we cannot react emotionally and based on what is seemingly happening in front of our face. A lot of times there's more than meets the eye when it comes to trading, and something could be happening and it's happening right under our noses and we don't even sense it. So be very careful when the market turns into something weird, when the market turns into something and your gut is saying, "Oh, I can't understand this, none of this is making sense." Usually the best thing to do in that situation is to take a step back, sit on your hands, and wait for the market condition to get to a point where you can figure it out. So that was my moral story of the day. Now we're going to go into our game plan in Forex. Right here is going to be our game plan. I'm giving you guys a $6 name endo site. Just beautiful breakout here today, and you could see what this stock did on the daily. Exploded through descending resistance with elevated volume. Looks very strong. The stock is actually down 11 cents after hours. You do have support on the stock if it does want to pull back to 524. I don't know if it will do that. But more importantly, look to see if it wants to break $6.08 tomorrow. This could be one of those names that give you a nice little follow through to the upside. Forex names. I'm obviously in Euro Japanese Yen trade that is currently, let's see, yeah, it's currently down a little bit against me at the moment. I'm still in it, so this was the live order from yesterday. Underneath the gray line is all my new orders. You can go ahead and hit print screen if you would like right now. You get my buys, my size, my symbol, the price I'm bidding at, the stop loss level, and the take profit level. Just keep in mind when you're above this gray bar over here, you're currently, that's currently a live trade that's actually open, and below it are the new orders. So there's my Forex. And of course, now we're going to go ahead and move into our full stock analysis. Of course, this is for members only. We're going to break down every single name you're watching and more, give you my full thoughts on everything that's going on with whatever you're watching. And of course, again, that is for members only. If you wish to join the Newsbeat live service or try us out, there's a little link in the description. Go ahead and check us out. I think it's $7 to try us for 30 days or for 1 month if you're a brand new member. Definitely check it out. Definitely see if there's potential discounts that are going on that could get you a potential cheaper rate for people logging in and watching this Newsbeat show. We're the fastest trading room in the nation, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.